Well, here we are, folks. Found a good spot to set my first snare set. So it's kind of hard right now because the snow's super crusty, but I don't know if you can see, but down in through here is a little rabbit run, and I can tell by the depressions in the snow from before that this is a spot that they're coming through. Right there, if you look right there, you can see little depressions in the snow. They're rocking right through there. I'm gonna set another one right there too. But they're coming in around this tamarack. Now, what I've noticed snaring in this particular area is that the rabbits, if there is a nice fresh poplar down, they like to eat the cambium inside. So that's that flesh that transfers the nutrients from the base of the tree, the roots, up to the tree so it can grow. And that's right underneath the bark. And then it's attached, it's kind of like a little membrane that's attached to the tree itself. And if you ever try it, do it. Scrape a little bit off and you can eat it. It tastes really good. It's full of nutrients. It's kept a lot of guys alive in the bush if they get into a real bad spot. Cambium, awesome spot. But the rabbits here, the snowshoe hares, that's what I'm trapping, is they love eating that bark. If I ever see little, like a tree fell down and there's all the little branches just kind of poking in the snow, they'll all be bare. They'll bear them right off. And they sometimes do it with these little black birch too. So we have a lot of little black birch here. It's a swampy area, so we have a lot of little tag altars around, which is awesome for snaring. It's a good zone. It's a good area. I'm going to show you what I do for a snare set and which has been most productive for me. I am half Newfoundlander, and a lot of my uncles still snare. It's a big part of our heritage, and I've learned a lot from talking to my dad and asking him what his brothers do and what he did. And yeah, the East Coasters, they got the snaring down pat for the rabbits. So I'm going to follow them, and it works. So basically there's just a few things, like there is to anything. There's always a few things to everything. Don't short yourself on your snare wire. I've done it so many times. This stuff's expensive. This is 20 gauge brass. I like the brass, especially right now. It's kind of warm out, so it won't snap as easy. I find when it's like minus 30, the rabbit will, if it gets a good shake on, it will snap this wire. Excuse me. But in this climate right now, this 20 gauge or 22 gauge brass wire is amazing. I love it. It's a nice quick kill. Works really good. So I'll take about 2 feet. It's generally what it ends up being, is about 2 feet, unless I'm doing a big drop snare off of a branch. I'm coming off the side of this one. So I'll usually either do a side snare coming off of a branch or coming down from a branch. Sometimes I'll make it, you know. But all I do is just put this in your finger, make a little wee loop. You don't want it too big. Don't be chintzy on your wraparounds on your noose, on this initial eyelet that you're making. Because believe it or not, rabbits are pretty tough. They're pretty strong, and they will put up a pretty darn good fight. The thing with this brass wire, is you don't want to bend it a lot in one spot or it will break. So there we go. I've got a nice free little looplet, and all you're going to do, this is going to have memory in it because it was in a roll, is I'll take it and I'll put it against my knee like this to get that memory out of it. Just get the memory going in the opposite direction. Oh, some sunshine coming out. And then you fiddle with it. You fiddle with getting it set up the way you want it off of your branch. So about the size of my mitt, like that, is what I want for that rabbit to go through. As round as possible. There we go. Let me reset my camera so we can do the snare set and you guys can watch. Let me see if I'm in the right spot here. I'm coming off this tag. This is the run right here. This is where they run. There's another tree right there. So basically, I'm going to set my snare set somewhere in here. Try and get all these little bends out. Oh, I poked myself with that. Got a little bleed on first thing in the morning. So what I do is I set my snare first. This is a nice spot. It looks like they're they're curving right around this this black birch here. So I'm not going to go too far out from that. I can adjust that after. Do a couple of nice wraps. I might go a little bit further out. There we go. And see how fast 2 feet of snare wire can go away. I've only wrapped around this, 1 inch round black birch, and I'm almost out of snare wire. So I wrap around here, bleeding all over the place because I poked my thumb. Just wrap around here, hold everything in place as best you can. Pull that tight around the tree. Take your snare wire and start to loop it around your tree. Lots of loops, so it's not going to unfurl when that rabbit starts fighting. This is a nice spot here. It's a really nice spot, actually. Okay, so we're secure. Your snare always does a little bit of a snaggle on you, so you have to readjust it. You got to fiddle with the wire, bend it. Try not to bend it too much. It'll create weak spots, but just enough. I don't want it too low. The snow is very crusty. Crusty. Right there. That's exactly what I want. Can you see that? The rabbit will come right through here. Boom. Gone. But what I like to do, I want to set my camera up so that you guys can see it. I want to stay off my rabbit run too. That's why I don't bring the dog. I want to get both trees in there for you guys to see. So that's the run. This is the run right here. Boom. Sapling right here. But you want to create a funnel. Okay? So I have all these deadwood sticks here. These little tags. Build yourself a little funnel so that rabbit has nowhere to go. It just kind of coerces the rabbit. And I do a nice big blockade because I have a ton of branches here. So we'll do a nice big blockade so that he wants to stay in this path. He doesn't want to fiddle around, you know. Make it look as natural as possible. Fill it in really nice, because if this is a good runway here, I'll use this numerous times, so I might as well set it up good. But although, you know, with snowfall, and when you do get a rabbit, they thrash around quite a bit, they'll destroy all this. This will all be laying on the ground, generally. But at least all the deadwood material will still be here for next time. So I can get my snare sets up quicker. And I never reuse snare wire. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people do. I haven't really asked that question. I know it's expensive, but I don't reuse snare wire ever. And I don't, even if it hasn't been hit or an animal's been caught in it and I'm taking them down for the end of the season and they've been out in the elements for months and months and months, I still don't use it. I just throw it out because I've noticed it becomes very fragile. The stainless, probably not so much, but the brass is really nice, but it does have, it is quite fragile, you know, in comparison to the stainless. Okay, so as you can see, I've pretty much got it so that the rabbit, if he's going to walk through here, he's going to go through that snare. He's going to go into here. And I'll put this debris right up close to the snare too. You don't have to be a million miles away. Put one here too. Make it as inconspicuous as possible for the little guy or gal. And now one of the most important things that increased my productivity a lot was obviously an East Coaster. I was watching his channel And I forget who it was actually, or else I'd give him a massive shout out, because this guy's like, in my mind, the leader in the snaring for rabbits. Anyway, he does this little trick. I don't care who you are, everyone's gonna have their little tricks. But I've noticed that the tricks that guy taught me, the one trick, you know, if anything that guy taught me, and he does spring-loaded snares too, which I do as well. We'll get into that. But the one thing that guy taught me, I'll show you. Make it natural even over the top of the snare. Make it natural so there's even a little bit overhang in that snare. So it just looks like a nice natural path. Okay, here's the trick. Here is the trick of the century. The chin up stick. So you want your rabbit to put his head up and jump over. So his head's going to go right through that sling there, right through that snare. So this little chin up stick, all it does is he sees it and he puts his head up and jumps over it. He wants to get over it. So this is our first snare set. I'm going to mark this with some flagging tape, and we're just going to keep banging these out. We're going to keep on going. But I like this set, and I see another great spot right there. Great spot right there for a snare set. I'm going to do probably 3 or 4 in this little area. Whew. Super happy. The sun's out. What a nice morning. Okay, be right back. Another thing too there, guys and gals, is see where I'm leaning down, set my snares. So I was leaning down here, and the snare is down in there. Well, this here, I've just opened up a way for that rabbit to want to jump through here. So take some sticks and block off where you were just kneeling, where you were working, to finish off, you see, to finish off that that tunnel, that funnel for that guy. Put some sticks in here so that he doesn't want to run through with that easy, nice path that you just made for him to go around that tree. Lessen his options. Keep it so that he wants to go that way, you know. Animals always want to go the easiest way unless they're threatened. So if he's just gallivanting through here, chewing on some cambium, just give him the gallivant. Give him the nice route. That's all you need to do.